Hello, viewers. Welcome to our first agricultural TV station in Nigeria. And of course, the program is Aqua Farming. My name is Joshua Isha, your regular host. Aqua Farming is a program that brings you all you need to know that is in the water, be it fish, shells, crabs, frogs, what have you. In fact, even octopus. Sometimes we make sure we bring to you all you need to know in the water. And today on the program, we'll be looking at how to add value to your fish and also preserve them to a point in which they will not lose their taste, or better still, they are quality. And of course, on that note, we'll be going straight to the field. We'll be talking to an expert where he's going to be expatiating what it takes to use a smoking kiln so you can be able to smoke and preserve your fish, on how to add value to your fish.
Make sure people have. So this tent was produced, and this tent is used to dry fish with sun. So once you have this, you have the inlet, no smoke, nothing. You have the inlet here. You have the inlet vent here and outlet vent. You have a vent there. You have a vent there. This is a liner. These are just normal. This thing, net. You understand? Then you have racks inside. So you actually just put your fish inside. You put it under the sun. 3, 4, 5, 6 days, you see your fish drying like a normal smoking thing, and the shelf life too is wonderful. Honestly, it's wonderful.
I want to add that in Nefri also recently we also came up with a fish drying machine. It has electricity and charcoal component. You can use any one that is available to you. You will see part of it there. But this one has advantage of electricity and charcoal. We are able to come with
to put your fish to prevent all these other things. You just zip it down, it protects it. All the heat is stored inside here, and it continues to dry your fish in a healthy manner. And store this your fish with ice inside this place. You can be rest assured that 5, 10, 15 days it is still well stored. Yes. The ratio of ice to fish is 1:1. That's what it is. Normal, in fact, as of blessed memory, one of our students used this one to transport fish to Thailand because he was doing a PhD program. They needed catfish, and then they didn't have, so he came back to Nibusa.
Nigerian Store Product Research Institute. The first one is
We discovered that the moment you harvest your fish is out of water, fish starts to deteriorate unless you keep it under the condition that will maintain the quality of the fish. And one of the best way to do that is to refrigerate the fish. But you cannot take your freezer, your fridge to the farm. Where will you get the power? So that is why we came up with this idea with the support of WAP, and we are able to get a great research council. You know, that is our supervising agency. At the first phase, we were able to develop something made of aluminum plates and the rest. So later we improved, because we thought of availability of the material. So we went for plastic of 2 different sizes. One smaller one, the other one bigger. You have the bigger one outside, the smaller one inside. And in between was properly insulated with polyurethane. It's a very good insulation material. So and we cover it, and it did what we wanted to do. But we now discover that if you want people to appreciate this thing, you need to commercialize it. And that was the reason why we went to this extent. So we partner with a plastic manufacturing company, which is where you are taking it to and your target. You can make it ratio 1:1. You can make it 1:2, 1:3, 1:2. It is 1:2, meaning that you have 1 kg of ice, you have 2 kg of fish, like that. So that is the way it is, and it has a drain, because you imagine that when the ice starts to melt, it will definitely bring water. So, and if you leave the water in the box, the fish will take the water and they will get swelling up, and that is why you have this drain. So periodically you open this, the water goes out, then you close it. The way you can see them on top. Then here we have fish. How fresh the fish is.
Still fresh.
So that is to show. And if you look at part of what I mentioned yesterday, that you used to know whether the fish is good or not, you can see the eyes that is still very radiant. You can see. So that is a sign to show that the quality is still intact. So that is that with respect to ice fish box. Now, you know there is limitation to the level at which you can store your fresh fish, and that is the need for value addition. By the time you add value, it makes the product more stable. It will bring additional economic income for the processor or the farmer that is involved, and at the same time you will make it available where fish is not being produced. So, and that is why we have this spray fish smoking thing. The ice fish box I said the other time, there is a patent for it, and this anybody to produce this, he must consult us. You cannot just go ahead and work on the design, otherwise we can sue. Though ours is not to own it, we are ready to release it for anybody that is willing to fabricate for people. But at least there must be an agreement between the two of us, and you must acknowledge that this is our design, this is our smoking thing. Now, go back to the story. When you look at it, I said there is need to add value to it, and you discover that this thing started long ago. There is the traditional method of smoking. But the problem I will share with that is that by the time they are done with the fish, what you get is what the Yoruba call black fish, which is a jadudu. Whereas originally the fish was not black. But because of the process the thing went through, too much of smoke, too much of heat, by the time you are done with the smoking, the fish will turn to black. And it's not just color, but it contains what we refer to as polyaromatic hydrocarbon content, which is carcinogenic in nature. So the cumulative effect of that has a lot of issue on our health, and that is why we say you see fish by the roadside. Yes, it's very cheap. They are selling it. It's cheaper than what they package in a line of smoke with things like this. No, you should think of your health, because by the time you accumulate it, you won't like it. You spend a lot in maintaining your health. So now, the smoking cane, you can see we have arrangement of, basically we have the smoking chamber, we have arrangement of trays and the racks. Then we have the oil collectors. We discover that some smoking cane, when you see them, their source of heat is directly positioned under the trays where you have the fish. The implication of this is that when the fish is being dry, the oil and water from the fish will drop on the fire, and this will bring additional smoke. In fact, if care is not taken, it can even bring flame, and if somebody is not there to rescue the system, the whole fish can get burned, including the facility we are using. So that is why our own combustion chamber is recessed at the back. It's not under the arrangement of the fish. Then now, we now discover that the oil fish should not be wasted because of the nutrients it contains and because of the application in pharmaceutical company. That is why we now make provision for oil collection mechanism. That is why we have this tray. So now, the oil and water from the fish, instead of dropping on the fire, it will drop on the tray. Because the tray is hot, the water will dry, while the oil will flow down to a corner there where we have a pipe connected, and from this bring it, and from the fish that we dried yesterday up to this morning, this is what we are able to collect from the fish. It's not hot. If the thing is hot, it's because of the sun, not because of the yes. So if you happen to have a fish that contains a lot of fat, you may have something close to this bottle by the time you are done smoking. So, and this is additional income for whoever adopt the smoking cane, instead of just wasting it and adding more economic value to your product. And when you get to the back, before we go to that, yesterday when we brought the facility, it was in pieces. If not because it was in pieces, we came from Ilorin, Kwara State with these two, with our healers. So are you telling me healers can contain the two now? No. But because it was in panels, in pieces, we were able to bring the two, even with the high squeeze boxes yesterday, the day before yesterday. And when we got here yesterday, we assembled everything using bolt and nut, and it is in the unit. And if you want to move it away from this place now, all you just need, just remove the bolt and nut, then you transport it. At the same time, it is not fixed. You can move it because it has wheel. You can move and you can see that. And you can even put it in your, if you have a 3-bedroom apartment and you are not using everything, you can just, or maybe probably in your kitchen, if it is wide enough, just put it there, you smoke your fish and you are good to go. And as the fish is, the charcoal is burning, there is facility for collection of the ash at the back there. So we have this, and this is powered with charcoal. We have another one that can be powered with gas, and the third one that can be powered with electricity. Careful, no? It's hot, okay. Sorry. So that is the smoking cane, and we have them in different capacities. This is 100 kg. We have the bigger capacity, and we equally have the ones that are not as big as this. And when you touch it, you know that this material there. And the product of the smoking cane is over there. So the third one is not here. The packaging material, the composite packaging material. Yeah, this is the product. So people are taken out of it. Somebody confirmed that it's very good in the preparation of stew. You see the way the person was, and I bet you know that it's something that this is the fish. When you look at it, there is no way you use thing, you maintain this color. No way. Everything will be black. So this is the product of the smoking cane. You can see it. So, and yesterday we decided to spice some. So we still clean it up just to make sure at least we had something to eat. But you can see how neat the fish. Yes. So that is what we have. And after you have done this, if it is not properly packaged, you may discover that you will lose the product back because it will absorb moisture. And that is one of the reasons why we come up with this. We call this one composite packaging material. I mentioned this yesterday. We produce this one from brown paper, which is opaque, and polythene, which has tendency to keep water and air away. So you pack your fish here, then you seal. You're good to go. And this is branded, customized for this program. You can see dry fish.
Technology so far developed in NIFRI.
Ma, please face the camera, ma. Face the camera, ma.
Face the camera. Fry feeds. That's the feed you could give to the baby after absorbing the yolk sac. You could prepare it in NIFRI through formulation. The technique of formulation we looked at yesterday briefly, actually. So we also have for fingerlings, we have for juvenile, we have for grow out, we have for table size. What we use to grow your juvenile to table size, and also we have for specific for broodstock of clarias, the broodstock of heterobrancos. The feed you could feed them so that you could have good egg. At your hatching, you have good hatchling. Survival of your hatchling will be good. Not just feeding anyhow feed. So all these are available in NIFRI. Feed technology so far developed, and we have piloting machines to produce either of them. We also have extrusion machine to produce for those who need extruded feed. The extruder is to actually make floating feeds. But if you don't have money, like I said yesterday, it does not stop you from producing feed. Cat feed on their natural soil, how God created them, they are benthic eaters. They feed at the bottom of the tank. But man now wants to see that actually my fish is eating. That is what brought about the idea of using floating feed to feed the fish. So they now struggle to come up. You see them jumping to eat the feed that you are actually providing. But whether sinking or floating, once your formulation is good enough, it meets the requirement of the fish, your fish grow very well. The type has no meaning as far as quality is concerned. because a fish can be floating, but the quality is very bad. Yet you feed your fish for months and you won't see any good performance. So you could formulate your fish feed by yourself and know what you are feeding to your fish. You must get results. That is the truth of the matter, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Dr. Lando Ebenezer Jibri. I'm from National Institute for Freshwater Fishery Research. I'm in the Department of Social Econs and Extension, and we are here in this program to showcase some of our research work. It's not an ongoing research, it's a proven and it's research that has been in places. Now this is a fish retail table. Now we have discovered that a lot of people, when they go to the market, when they are selling fish, flies are flying everywhere, hands are touching it. By so doing, a lot of people transfer diseases, unhealthy, hygienic way of selling fish. So we now came up with this very simple, hygienic fish retail table. Now this is a net that covers it to prevent flies from perching on your fish. This is the door which the seller is the only one that have access to it. So any seller who wants, any buyer who wants to buy the fish, he will look at it through the net. The net is transparent. You can see what is inside. You will point at what you want to buy. The seller whose hand is hygienic, of course, with their gloves, will open this compartment, pick up the fish, wrap it up, and give it to you. So if another seller comes, you are sure that you are selling a very hygienic, safe fish for people. So we call this one a fish retail table. Look at it, it's very light, it's dismantleable. You can just join it, you can buy it, you can be using it in the market. So in fact, there was one time that Niger State adopted it, but they stopped it again. But there was a time that Niger State government, especially in New Busa, adopted it, that fish sellers should be using this because they have seen that it is something that is good, laudable, and also cheap. Now we call Nifri Solar Tent Dryer. Now it's a solar tent dryer because you use natural sunlight, solar, to dry your fish. This is just a nylon, normal nylon, but thick one. Then these are just the same light frame that you can just produce. What you do is it has rack inside. These are the racks that you use where you can put your fish on top of it. So they have 3 racks. It's actually also a proven research work of more than 10 to 15 years. In fact, one of our researchers got his PhD from this research work. What he does is, you have sun available in Nigeria. So you put your fish here, it has a vent, 2 vents, out vent and inlet. Air enters into this place and goes out into this place. So that when you conserve or you make heat, you put this, helps you to keep the heat from the sun inside this facility. So as it helps you now, it also prevents flies from perching it, because once flies start perching to you, what they do is they introduce what? Bacteria. So the heat that is contained in this thing is what dries your fish gradually. As a matter of fact, sometimes, in fact, many times we have used this to dry fish and it is like stockfish. That dry. But the only thing is just that it depends on sunlight. If there are no sunlight, of course, it takes longer for your fish to dry. But this is a proven research that has worked, has been used, has been demonstrated, and farmers who know it have come to buy it. So it's not something that is new, it's something that has been in existence, and we keep improving on it, and it is here for people to come and buy. It is cheap and you can use it. You can just put it at the back of your house. It is there, safe. Product from the Fish Engineering and Production Department of National Institute of Freshwater Fishery Research is a cooling box. We have noticed that most times when fish farmers go on top of natural water, when they fish, before they bring their fish from the wild to the shore, there's a lot of decomposition that takes place, meaning that fish starts spoiling. Because once fish starts dying, the composition starts immediately. So we now came up with an idea to say, come, many of them may not be able to buy a cooling box that is expensive. Why don't you do something that will be cheap, you can carry it, and it is safe? And that is what brought about this. This is a cooling box. You can see the inside. It has an exit. You can see it is this light. So you can put it inside your boat with ice stored inside it. Once you catch your fish, you put it inside this place, and you can be rest assured that once there is ice inside, the fish is fresh. It remains fresh. Now the technology behind this is just that let's reduce the atmospheric heat that will affect the fish and make it and maybe spoil it. So that's why it is conserved. When it's conserved, you're able to prevent heat from outside. You're able to prevent flies, and you are keeping it warm. You are keeping it cold with the ice inside, and it is cheap. So you can put this 4, 5, 6, 7 inside your boat. You put ice inside. You put it. When it comes out fresh. You sell it out to opticals. You are selling hygienic fresh fish. So no matter how you stay, even if it is 5 days, 10 days, as long as you don't open it more often for the ice to melt, it keeps it very, very. So you can just carry it. Look at it. It's so light. You understand? But what it does is lighter, is heavier than what the weight of the cooling box. So this is also a proven research which is available in National Institute for Freshwater Fishery Research, Niger State, Nebusa.
I'm sure you've enjoyed this episode of the program, and I'm sure you know what to do to add value to your fish, most especially those of you who go to get the fish and don't know what to do with them because you don't have those products to preserve them. On that note, a very big thanks for all of you who have been a part of the program. My name is Joshua Ishaya. Thanking you for being a part of it. Bye for now.